as we say, we are stopping for 1 week our routine about learning brachot. We'll discuss a few laws of the fast, a few laws of the fast, and we'll try to touch very shortly also the laws of the fast of Shiva Asar B'Tammuz, and also a bit of the 3 weeks. So we have the 4 fasts, which are mentioned in the Navi. צום הרביעי, וצום החמישי, וצום העשירי, וצום השביעי, וצום העשירי, צום הרביעי is תמוז, צום החמישי is אב, צום השביעי is צום גדליה, צום העשירי is עשרה בטבת. And so they're mentioned already in the Navi. So they have quite a strong place. And these those fasts started after the destruction of the first temple. After the destruction, so for 70 years, or more or less 70 years, there were very severe fasts. Everyone fasted those fasts. And when we came back to Israel, so came a question, how do we view those fasts? On one hand, we have a temple. On the other hand, there was almost never an independent state of Jews. Okay, even when the Chagai Zechariah Malachi and Zerubbabel and Ezra and Nehemiah, even when they came to Israel, if you look at the book of Ezra and Nehemiah, they all of them had problems, and they wanted to build the walls, and someone and maybe Haman and bothers them, and they have Artaxerxes and Achashverosh, and they're always someone is bothering them. They don't have full independence, and Ezra needs to get permission from the king to have his own laws and judge by the Torah. So there's never a fully independent in Israel until the days of the Hashmonaim. That's a story more for Hanukkah. And then there's independence for more or less 77 years with a small break in between. So there came the halacha that when we have years of peace, there's no fast. And when we have years of war, so we do fast. And when there's so like today, so depending what the nation feels like. And so what are we right now? That brings the question, what are we right now? So we had quite a few good years through the history, and we had quite a few hard years through the history. We had the days of the Bar Kokhba revolt. They were very, very hard years. If you look at Masechet Gittin, they see the Mishnayot about non-Jews can just come and take land from the Jews and kill the Jews if they dare to stand against them. And what became common is that the nation decided that we view those fasts as something which is mandatory. So the nation decided, and if we mentioned about customs of the nation, when the nation decides something, so the nation decided, even when we have better years and even when we have more difficult years, so the nation decided that we have the fast of Tisha B'Av, which we viewed as a very severe fast, and we have the other 3 fasts of Shiva Asar B'Tammuz, Tzom Gedalia, and Asar B'Tevet, which we can be a bit more lenient with them. What are we more lenient with them? First, it's not a full 24 hours or 25 hours. The fast begins on Alot HaShachar, the earlier time of Alot HaShachar, as mentioned in the calendars, and ends on Tzedek Koravim. It's not like Tisha B'Av Yom Kippur, which is a 24-hour fast. Another very big difference between them is that on Tisha B'Av, you aren't allowed to do 5 things. We refrain from 5 things like on Yom Kippur. And on the other fasts, you're allowed to wash yourself, for example. You have to wash your hands in water, and so on. Still, we don't view those fasts as maybe happy days. You don't go to the pool on the fast, but if one washes his hands got a bit dirty, he can wash his hands without no problem. If he takes a shower because he's hot and sweaty, since it's a hot day here in Ma'ale Adumim, so he shouldn't take a shower with nice hot water, but he can allow himself to clean himself before the fast. Another quite a big difference between them is how do we view sick people, okay? Or how much are we lenient with people who aren't feeling well, specifically about pregnant women and breastfeeding women. If someone is sick, he's not feeling well, so Yom Kippur, he doesn't fast only if he's a chole sheish bo sakana. If there's some kind of, maybe he might get into danger if he fasts. That's for Yom Kippur. On Tisha B'Av, so we want him to be sick, okay? Only if he's sick, okay? He has 39 degrees fever, more than 100 or whatever. He's in bed because he's sick, So then he doesn't fast. On the other fasts, it became the custom that even pregnant women or breastfeeding women, nursing women, so they don't need to fast on the more lenient fast. So someone who's not feeling well, he has hopefully all of us will feel well, but someone who has migraines because of the fast, someone who has a fever. So a few years ago, we'd say someone who has COVID, right? So he doesn't need to fast. Now, obviously,
Just curiosity, for the purpose of taking medicine.
so taking medicine, okay, taking medicine. Usually, one can. You don't need to have water while taking medicine, but yes, but if you need to take medicine, so you can take a bit of water with the medicine. And actually, there's an interesting halacha about it.
Doesn't end the fast.
Exactly. What happens if someone by mistake? Well, I'm not sure. Someone once told me that they woke up, they forgot it's a fast, and they had a cup of coffee and a piece of cake. Do they need to continue fasting or no? And the halacha is yes. Well, the fact that someone did a mistake, he shouldn't have another mistake. Or in the terms of the Gemara, someone who had fresh garlic and now he has a strong smell from his mouth. He'll do the same mistake again and have more garlic. No, we do mistake once and that's it. So someone who broke the fast, he should continue fasting. But since he broke the fast, he can't say anenu anymore. He doesn't say anenu. What happens if someone ate only small amounts of water or small amounts of bread? For example, he had to take a tablet. And to take the tablet, he swallowed just a small amount of liquid with it, and that's it. So it's considered that he's still fasting. So he can still say anenu on the fast. Okay, so usually we say that on Yom Kippur, we require someone to have small amounts. Otherwise, just have on a regular fast. If a person isn't feeling well, just drink and eat normally. Okay, drink. Don't eat the best steaks and don't go to an ice cream store on the fast, but you can eat like a regular meal. If for some reason he decides to eat a small amount, he's considered as if he's still fasting, and he can say anenu and get an aliyah Torah like any other person who's fasting. And these are the main differences we have between Tisha B'Av and the other fasts. We mentioned taking a shower. We mentioned someone who's not feeling well. And we'll just mention one more halacha, which is more connected to Tisha B'Av, about shoes. Okay, what shoes do we wear on Tisha B'Av? Which also connects us to Yom Kippur. We know one of the 5 things we refrain from on Yom Kippur and Tisha B'Av is wearing leather shoes. And leather shoes, they are considered good, nice shoes, comfortable shoes. But today, if you go online or just go to a shop, you can buy shoes for 350 shekels. I think I bought Shoresh shoes for my kids not long ago, and they don't have any leather on them, and they aren't so cheap at all. Actually, they're probably more expensive than the more Tanakh style sandals that you can buy. Yes, and they're much more expensive. So the question is, can you wear them on Yom Kippur and on Tisha B'Av? And the truth is that there's a debate already in the Gemara about it. And since it is a debate in the Gemara, so it seems like that on Yom Kippur, one shouldn't wear them on the normal way. If he's wearing short sandals, he should unstrap them, make it so he feels a bit not comfortable. There's inui nefesh, he should feel Yom Kippur. And the Tisha B'Av seems like that one can be more lenient and wear those sandals, and maybe also preferably should open one of the straps so he doesn't feel like the regular sandals of Yom Kippur or of the weekdays. He should feel the fast on him. Maybe before we continue to the 3 weeks, one more halacha, which is probably not relevant to the people here, but it might be relevant to other people. What about children? So I just got the question about a birthday for a child tomorrow. So there's a kid who's Gil Chinuch already, he's more than 7 years old. And for some reason, the best day they can have the birthday party is tomorrow. Okay, for different reasons. And they have a birthday party on the fast. Okay, so let's just read. I want to find the fast. Let's read the Mishnah Berurah. One sentence. וכן הקטנים, also the small children. שיש להם דעת להתאבל. that they already have the mind of what the fast means, and we are lacking Jerusalem, then we are lacking the temple, where we understand what the fast means. There's something very interesting about the fast of the morning fast, like Yitzayin Tammuz. Typically, we have the mitzvah of chinuch, of educating the children. And we want to educate the children to fast before Yom Kippur. So even when he's already 10 years old, we'll tell him, okay, if instead of eating breakfast at 8, you eat breakfast at 10. On those fasts, there's no din chinuch. Why? We're trying to educate our children for something that will have to do with their bar mitzvah. But we always have this prayer in our heart that next year, or maybe even tomorrow, we will not be fasting. Today, someone told me, let's build a Beis Mikdash. We won't have to fast tomorrow. So even if we can't build a Beis Mikdash, we still are hoping and praying that by the time a child who's 10 years old, by the time he becomes bar mitzvah, he will not have to fast. So there's no point of educating. So there's less of a din chinuch in educating a child to fast all of the fast. Yet, the Mishnah Berurah here writes, it's still good to educate them, not to celebrate on the fast. Like, eat what they need to eat. Eat a regular dinner. Don't have an ice cream. Don't have a chocolate with a cream on it and a waffle bar and whatever, and be part of the community. So there's is an educational part of a person to be part of a community. So for this child who had a birthday, who has a birthday tomorrow, since he's old enough to have all of the cookies and cakes right after the fast ends, so I told them, have your friends, have a regular dinner or supper, depending where you come from, right? At 7 or whatever it is, and then play a few games that kids play, and then at, I think it's 8:10, have your cake, have your birthday cake. So that's another halacha we learned, and now we are moving to the 3 weeks. Okay, so we have many questions about the 3 weeks. What they're allowed to do, what aren't we allowed to do, can we cut the hair, can we listen to music, say Shechianu, and so on. So first we should know that in the times of Chazal, the 3 weeks didn't have a meaning like they have today. It's true that it says in Eicha, Kol Rodfei Sigua Bein HaMetzarim. All of the enemies, or the people, the enemies who were chasing Jerusalem, they caught up to Jerusalem on Bein HaMetzarim. Bein HaMetzarim means, the simple translation of it is between the walls. Like you're chasing someone, and he gets to a dead end. That's it. You catch him, right? So all the enemies of Jerusalem managed to get to Jerusalem, and they found us, they found a nation like surrounded by walls from all of our sides. That's Bein HaMetzarim. Yet we take the terms also for Bein HaMetzarim between 2 fast days, between Shiva Asar B'Tammuz and between Tisha B'Av. So those 3 weeks do have a meaning, which we have a hint for them in Eicha. Another meaning that Chazal gave to them. Let's see if you can guess what custom came already from the times of Chazal. Not about the morning, it's about reading the Torah, or to be more specific, the Haftarah. Right? We have the 3 Haftarot, Shlosha Deporanuta, 3 Haftarot of not easy, if you put it in the nice terms, not easy words said to the nation of Israel that we read in those 3 weeks. Okay, so that's the 3 Haftarot. But besides that, there's not so much of a meaning we find in Chazal for all sorts of not shaving. We don't find it so much in Chazal. Therefore, we have quite a big difference between the Ashkenazi custom and the Sephardi custom. Typically, the Sephardi will be more lenient, and they'll say all of the mourning, all of the Avelus customs will have more towards Av, which is mentioned in Chazal. We'll have in the week of Tisha B'Av, and Ashkenazi will also extend it also to the 3 weeks. Why is that? A bit of history. Unfortunately, the Ashkenazim suffered a lot from the Crusades and from other Christians and not nice neighbors that we had through the generations. So typically, Ashkenazi have more of mourning customs than Sephardi have. We find it also in Sfirat HaOmer, the days of Sfirat HaOmer. We say, for example, Ava Rachamim, and on Shabbat, even if it's a Shabbat Mevarchim. So typically Ashkenazi are more stringent about those days of the Bein HaMetzarim. Okay, so let's now go over some of the halachot. And now to start from halacha, which is not mentioned here in the Shulchan Aruch, probably the most common halacha. Are we allowed to listen to music? So what do you think? Listen to music on the
Listen to music.
3 weeks.
In public or
What? Problematic. We don't know
in
it's
public or in private?
in private. Or can I go to a concert? The concert of I don't know.
It's like having a birthday party.
Okay,
That's what we need.
Okay. Is it
Live.
live music, or just even recorded music?
Public?
Both. Okay.
Okay.
No, I'm asking. I'm not saying.
I think in public it's a problem, but in private I think recording.
So let's go for the root of the minhag. The Shulchan Aruch does not mention of not listening to music on the 3 weeks. Okay, does not mention. Why is it? Now he didn't have a radio. Yeah. Can you use an iPod? Shulchan does not answer that. If you can use an iPad or an iPod or whatever or Spotify music on the 3 weeks, he doesn't mention it. I don't know why, but assuming maybe he listened to different music, not he listened to YouTube music. The proof is that the Shulchan Aruch writes that one shouldn't listen to music for all of the year. From all of the year, unless it's maybe Sadat Mitzvah, one shouldn't listen to music. It's mentioned in Halacha, but the custom in the end became not like that. And the custom became that we do listen to music. Maybe when we listen to music, so we try to make it a bit of a Sadat Mitzvah, live music. Okay, we try to give it more of a meaningful music. But the truth is that that's why the Shulchan Aruch does not mention. Also in Sfirat HaOmer, it doesn't mention listening to music because you have to listen to music through the whole year. The custom became, okay, we do listen to music through the whole year. I'm not talking about so that means that obviously you're allowed to listen to music. I'm just talking about going to a concert. Avram Fried has a great concert on I don't know, whenever it is. Can I go to it? The meaning is that we do it. And also we try to make it more of a meaningful, but even not, so the custom is that we do listen to live music. And the custom became 3 weeks, okay, that's when we do not listen to music. And here comes the question, that's live music. What about recorded music? If we have recorded music, on one hand, everyone who went to a concert knows that a concert, that gives you go into it, and there's a vibe, and the atmosphere, that's something very, very special, right? Recorded music usually don't have this atmosphere. Some poskim said, well, there's no difference. Music is music, and every music makes us happy, and we should focus on mourning. And it's Beit HaMikdash is so important. One day a year we should really be like Avelim. We should really be like mourning people. And 3 weeks we should try to get close to the atmosphere of it. While other poskim say, well, all the minhag is only for live music. And here there's a psika of Rav Eliezer Melamed, and I think it's becoming or be quite common, at least in the Tilumi population. And that is if it's something which is in public. Let's say you have this a big party and a DJ. Okay, so that obviously is something which is it's a party. Okay, it's a party, and since it's a party, so you don't join it, even if although it's recorded music. If it's in private, so you can divide the music to 3 levels. Happy music, hip hop, dance, happy music. Music which is more of a background. We listen to it in the background. We don't think about it so much. That's also one of the changes which happened in the last few years. But specifically, I think since we had those small earphones that everyone can wear them, you see people walking. I thought in the beginning people have big earrings. Yeah, and then no, it's headphones. Now you just get. I think now you can get headphones with like semi-diamonds on them. So now they really look like earrings. But people are more connected to music than they're connected to other people. So it's really becoming like more of a background thing than something really happy. So you can divide it to 3 levels. Happy music, you should refrain all of the 3 weeks. Music which isn't happy and not sad, so you can listen to it during the 3 weeks. And music that is sad music, so you can listen to it also on the 9 days. There are some poskim, it's very common in the Haredi world, that you don't listen to music at all, any music with instruments, so only vocal music, you listen to it only on the 3 weeks. Once the Maccabees came to Israel on 3 weeks to have a concert, and I didn't go to the concert, so I'm not sure what kind of music they sang, but if they sang happy music, so it's maybe defeating the purpose of it, right? The whole purpose of not listening to music is so we think about the destruction of the temple. So if it's vocal music, which is Moshe Neshama and becoming together, and so that's great. But if it's now hip hop music just became vocal, so that's maybe I can't say it's forbidden, but I also can't say it's permitted, right? So that's for that music. Okay. So that's another common question that we have is about buying things. Okay, about buying things and building things. So let's start with buying things. The Gemara says, "Mishenichnas av mimatim besimcha." When Av comes in, we refrain or we take down a bit of the buying and selling, which causes happiness. And also even we try to have less masawat and less buying and selling. We don't go to the markets unless there's really a need for it. But other things for living, like just buying things which I need, I can buy also during the 9 days. We said that's the 9 days. What about the 3 weeks? I mean, as we said, there's no issue, there's no forbidden thing to buy, and even things which make us happy during the 3 weeks. Okay, it's only during the 9 days. But because after all, it is already a day time, so we are getting between two fasts, and we are getting closer to Shabbat, and we are thinking about the temple. So we try not to say Shechianu. Okay, what does it mean? We try not to say Shechianu. If I have now a mitzvah, okay, or a brit, which some people say Shechianu. Obviously, we say Shechianu. Obviously, we're happy. Okay, if I have a fruit, which I have it now, and if I won't eat it now, I will miss the bracha of Shechianu. Obviously, I say Shechianu. Okay, even if it's a weekday. But if we can postpone something, so we'll postpone it and say Shechianu only later. So if we buy something new and it makes us very happy to buy it, so we postpone it from the 3 weeks to after the 3 weeks. Okay, so that's about buying things and Shechianu. We have another few more minutes. What about what other customs do we have? So haircuts. Okay, obviously it's a very known custom to have a haircut during the 3 weeks. We do have here, that's Ashkenazi custom. Okay, the Sephardi custom, again, will be only the 9 days. Okay, and that's because there's a difference of customs here. So there's a question about shaving the beard. Why is that? First, in Israel, everyone is mixed already. We have Sephardi, Ashkenazi, we have some families who are mixed, and shaving the beard or having a haircut, it's something special. Like you go to school between teenagers, I don't know where they got it from, and someone has a haircut, so everyone comes and hits him on the head. So maybe it's not such a happy thing to have a haircut, but when it is, so he comes to school, or I have a new haircut, and look at my hairstyle. Some of us already maybe lost their hair, so once the kids ask me, why do I leave long hair here and I cut my hair short here? So no, I do not cut my hair here. It happens naturally. Right? But sometimes haircut can be something very, I wouldn't say very festive, but a bit more festive than a regular weekday. So obviously it makes sense. Why not to have haircuts during the 3 weeks? But why, especially that we don't have to have haircuts every day. We can wait with it for another 3 weeks, have a haircut for the fast, have a haircut after the Shabbat, and everything's fine. What about shaving the beard? Okay, so Sephardim obviously shave the beard, they don't have any problem. Between the Ashkenazi and the custom is not to shave the beard during the 3 weeks, although there are poskim who are makel, a bit more makel, and they say it's not so festive in any case, it's not so happiness, it can learn from Sephardim minhag, especially here in Israel. So there are poskim who say like that. So
Shave except on Friday.
so on Friday, on Friday or Shabbat, only on the 3 weeks, not during the Shabbat. Right, so you can shave before on Shabbat, for Shabbat on Friday, So if you see someone who shaves for Shabbat, so you understand, okay, he's not violating the halacha. There's a source for what he is saying. I got a question today.
When you're dying, come with it tonight.
On WhatsApp, can one work out on the 3 weeks? Okay, can I work out on the 3 weeks? So the question is, yeah, you can work out on the 3 weeks. Even on the 9 days, you can work out on the 9 days. We're supposed to keep our bodies healthy. There's nothing of happiness in it. And it's even in the 9 days, one can work out. You can go for a run, ride a bike, swim. We didn't mention swimming. Since we have another minute, let's mention swimming. Okay. Can we swim on the 3 weeks and on the 9 days? Okay, so let's start on the 9 days. The answer is a bit more clear, and the answer is no. We don't we don't take showers which are for pleasure. Okay, we can shower on the 9 days to clean ourselves, but we don't take showers which are just pleasure. And swimming typically is for pleasure. Some cases, and if for specific cases, ask the rabbi or so. Sometimes swimming isn't for pleasure; it's for health reasons. Rav Gorin even has an answer about soldiers from Chil Hayam, from the Israeli Navy. Can they go into the water to cool themselves down? And he permitted that. Maybe he's a bit extreme, but sometimes swimming isn't for the pleasure; it's just for the health. So sometimes we can be lenient also on the 9 days. What about the 3 weeks? Well, there's no issue to swim on the 3 weeks. But we do try to refrain from things which might have danger in them. So if someone needs to have, let's say, a medical surgery on the 3 weeks, if it's needed, he can do it. If he can postpone it, and there's also danger in this surgery, he should try to postpone it. Okay, because we try to, on those weeks, considered more of a dangerous time, so not to do things which are dangerous. So someone who didn't swim that year, that's a very common minhag. Someone who did not swim that year, and he's now going the first time to swim. He still does not come with the water. He shouldn't go swimming on those 3 weeks. But if he swam beforehand, he's used to the water. He's also not so happy because he did it already once this year, so he can swim in the 3 weeks before we reach the 9 days. And we should obviously end with a prayer that Be'ezrat Hashem, all these halachot should just be halachot that we learn and don't have to keep them because Beit HaMikdash will be built.
Rabbi, on Shavasar B'Tammuz on the fast itself.